We're not going to use a, non-deterministic approach. We're going to use one that is deterministic. And to do that, we're going to use the random sample function, which we've seen before already. We used it in the insult generator to sample, for instance, 2 or 3 adjectives. Here we're going to use it to sample some number of indices from our text. So, given this text, we want to randomly choose some number of mutations. So let's say, how can we randomly choose 9 positions from the text? We can use random sample, and we can use the length of the text. Actually, let's see, we want a range of numbers that go to the length of text. And what we want is the number of mutations. And this gives us 9 randomly distributed, non-repeated indices from text. So the length of text is 44. So range of length of text will give us, well, it's not going to print anything useful here. This is actually a lazy function, so I have to use the list function here to coerce that into a list, but it creates a list of 44 values starting at 0 and going to the number 43 because the top number is not included. So I want to randomly select 9 of those, so I can use random sample on that range of numbers, select this many numbers. And so I've got back these. Now using that, I want to change the positions in text at, for instance, position 27, position 32. Well, these are indices, remember, because they're 1 off. So it's going to be 0 based. So how do I go about selecting that? We could, for instance, say, let's call these indices or indexes, depending on how strict you are. And I can say for I in indexes, and I can print, let's see, an F string using, this is what the character is. And I'm going to use a formatting string to format it within two positions wide. And what I want to show is, what is the text at that position? So it goes through and it says at position 25, and we can verify this, text at 25 is equal to a space. Text at position 21 is equal to a U. So it's going through and saying, these are the characters that I will change. So what we want is to change those values to some random choice from the alphabet. So if I change that again, so for each one of these indices, what I want to print is that it's going to be changed to some random choice from the alpha set. Oops, I have a, let's run that again. So instead, it would change the space to a dot. It will change the U to a W. The Z actually gets changed to a big Z. So you're never quite sure what you're going to get. It's different from the time when I wrote this. But we know that we can't directly say, for instance, text at 25 is now equal to a dot. That's not allowed. So your challenge in this is to figure out, how will you make that happen? So I'll leave it there. Let's see. So mutating a string, strings are immutable. We want to replace text at I with some value. One of the things that you might do is use string slices. So for instance, the bit up to, so what is the string up to position 25? So it's that, and then there's this space at position 25, and then there's everything going from position 26 forward. That's the rest of the string. Could you use those 3 pieces, the bit before, the bit at the index that you're, the new character that you're changing, and then the bit after that index? Could you use that to combine those into a new string? And you're going to have to accumulate the changes over time for each one of these mutations. So how will you overwrite the value of text? So that's what you need to do. Hopefully you have enough information now to get started.